Hey, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbe with Believe in the Run.
And today we're talking about the Asics.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, what were you doing?
My mouth wasn't moving right.
Our Robbe robot is broken.
I think I ate too much Novocaine earlier.
All right, so we're talking about the Asics Trabuco Dose.
Trabuco Max 2. There's Trabuco, Trabuco Max, or Trabuco 1, Trabuco Max 2. This is the first Asics trail shoe I've even worn. People love the Fuji Light. And I mean, people love the Asics Fuji Light. That's like kind of one of those sleeper hits is just a good trail shoe. Yeah, we took this out. You and I both ran on the same day in this shoe. We did some loops in at the Faster Bastards Oregon Ridge Sufferfest race.
Also part of Winter Grit.
Yeah, part of Winter Grit. 8-hour trail race. It was kind of it was a colder day at first, and then it warmed up, and of course everybody's running these loops, so it turned into a muddy mess.
Was a little muddy there at the end.
Yeah.
You can still see some remnants.
So I'd say we got some pretty good action in this shoe.
Yeah, not only did I get good action in this shoe, and we'll go over some of the details of what made this a great shoe, but it was comfortable enough that when I got to 18 miles on the fourth loop, I was like, let me just finish off 20 miles. Let me get that extra 2 in. And my feet felt good enough, and I was just like, oh, this is great. I enjoyed the day. Just that and the fact that out of the box, able to run 20 miles in this shoe, feeling comfortable on the terrain that we ran on, was pretty good.
So let's get into some of the details about this shoe. Straight off the bat, you can tell just from looking at the shoe that it's a max cushion shoe, meant for longer distances, just kind of that ultra comfort package. The upper here, engineered mesh upper, pretty plush around the collar.
The original Trabuco Max had that giant tongue with the lace locker garage or whatever it was called. And that thing was obnoxiously huge. This one dials it back. It is puffy, but it's not that bad, and it sits right in the right spot.
Throughout the shoe, how'd you feel like the fit of the upper was?
I didn't have any issues, and you know, one of the things you think about when you're doing trail running is that you're always on uneven surfaces. I didn't get a lot of movement in the shoe, and I didn't get any blisters. I
liked the overall comfort of it. I did feel like I had a little bit too much room in the forefoot, and maybe I just didn't have a great lockdown. I felt like I retied them once or twice, so I felt like maybe just kind of just rubbing on the side, but that happens to me with a decent amount of shoes, so it could just be this one. I mean, the nice thing is there is a good amount of room in the toe box, so like the Hoka Speed Goat, I know that's one of the issues people have with that shoe is it's a really narrow toe box, and I'm using that shoe because this is a pretty close competitor to that. Let's talk about the midsole. What we got there.
It's a lot of Flytefoam Blast Plus, a lot of it.
Flytefoam Blast Plus is the same midsole that we're seeing in a lot of Asics shoes like the Gel Nimbus, the Nova Blast. It's basically their most bouncy.
It's even in the Super Blast in a small part.
Yeah.
It's just a really comfortable, bouncy, highly responsive foam.
So it's 43 in the heel and 38 in the forefoot.
So these wouldn't even be legal for Ironmans or marathons.
Yeah, which on the trail sounds pretty crazy. I think this might be the highest stacked shoe I've worn on a trail.
And even though it was stacked up high, I never felt like my ankles were at risk.
Yeah.
I did, over 20 miles, I did have one little like blamp, but that like normally for me on trails, it would be a lot more than that. I was actually surprised I made it through that many miles without landing on my face.
But overall, I was surprised at how stable it was because of this
wide platform.
It's incredibly wide. Let's be honest, this is a monster truck of a shoe.
It is. It just rolled over everything, was gnarly on wet rocks, in the mud, and all the different terrain that we covered, and it was pretty East Coast technical trails. This thing was grippy. It did great.
I was actually didn't have high expectations for this outsole or the grip, just because I'm like, it's an Asics trail shoe. It's not Vibram, you know. Some of the downhills, I was just like, whatever. Because of the monster truck characteristic of this,
it'll roll over.
You can just kind of go over anything. So I was like, I'll just take it down this huge, like filled with mud. Well, other people were kind of like walking and like taking their time. I was just like, it handled it perfectly. There's no slipping or sliding. I was pretty shocked. And even over wet rocks, like on a creek, totally fine there.
A couple things we forgot to mention on the upper, Robbie. Can we go back to that for a sec?
Oh yeah.
You got your gator hooks and the Velcro thing in the back to secure your gator, the little hook in the front. And then one area that trail shoes are going to blow out is along the side edges, and they do have an overlay here that's pretty substantial that blends in with the shoe, but it's going to protect along the toe line there where the midsole meets the upper.
I felt like it reminded me a lot of the Brooks Caldera 6, which I wore for the Hat 50K last year, which was similar conditions, honestly. Where the Caldera 6 was a pretty good shoe, this has even more comfort, more bounce to it.
This one though, over the shoes I have worn, I'd say this is the winner I would pick. The fit of the upper, the cushion, the midsole,
I mean,
the grip. This is fun to run in.
It might be my favorite Asics midsole.
Overall.
Overall, like just feeling wise, it might be my favorite. There's something about this that has that cushion, but it has the bounce.
This is one of those shoes that if you were a kid and your parents got for you, it's stomping time. You're gonna grab one of your friend's toys or their lunchbox and see if you can't stomp on it. I don't know, I had a great day on the trails with these. They were a lot of fun. It was really enjoyable. It was a good shoe, so I'm gonna give it a green.
Yeah. Wow, we're already at the green light, red light. Oh, we didn't see the price for it.
Oh, what is the price?
The price for this is $150. Not bad. It's cheaper than the Speed Goat. It's in that range for all the, you know, max cushion heavy duty trail shoes for sure. So green light, definitely. Our other trail reviewers are getting all their miles in it, so let's be honest, that's all they do is run trails. So we'll have that written review on the website probably by the time this comes out. So you can check that out in the description. If you have any questions or comments, leave it there. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Okay, subscribe, please, like this video. Come back for more good stuff, whatever that means.
Tune into The Drop with now 2 episodes a week.
2 episodes of the Drop podcast. Yeah, man. Crazy to think how far we've come.
Yeah. You get your athlete interviews, your interviews with insiders, just people who like to run that aren't us.
More nonsense.
Yeah.
We don't have too much nonsense in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it, what he just said.
Yeah.
All right, check it out on Instagram if you want to see more pictures and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
Were you into monster trucks? Do you have a favorite monster truck?
I went Gravedigger, of course, but you
can't go wrong with
yeah, this is a classic.
Does anyone not pick Gravedigger? Is that like picking the Yankees of monster trucks?
It probably is, but like, what else do you have? That one that looks like the bone thing?
Yeah. There's the Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
One.
That was the original.
One.
That's
Yeah.
the Yankees.
Yeah. Bigfoot back in the day. I remember there was one with Hawaiian Punch on it too.
I like
forget what
that.
that one's called, but
I actually went to one of the, the arena
yeah.
where they do all that stuff. It was fun.
I need to take my kids to one of those.
It was a good time. Bring your earmuffs or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It's loud.